Delegate Ariana Kelly.
Who's my vice chair. So welcome to the committee. We have actually 23 members. You all come from different regions. This is, I would say, I'm very biased, but it is the best committee in the House. And this is a committee where we really get along. We are very thoughtful. We allow everyone to come and give their views, and we try to build consensus. This is not a committee where we have the partisanship, thank God, because guess what? Cancer doesn't care what party you belong to. What we try to do is to pass policies that improve everyone's lives, the 6 million plus people that we have in Maryland. So we're going to go through some rules today. And they have been sent to you, and I think they've been given to you this morning. And if you have any questions, you're going to learn the staff. So first, before I start, I like to go through the committee staff, because guess what? They are the people that do the work. They're wonderful. I love and respect them, and I want you to do the same. This is a very respectful committee. And I want to start with the assistant to the chair, Ms. Gail Wegner. Will you get up, please? Stand up. And she's amazing. We have the committee secretary who works very, very hard, and you probably received a 5-something in the morning email from her, Michelle Furman. We have the committee clerks, Maricruz Albarca, Andrea Ulloa, and we have the committee receptionist, Silvia Perez Rothel. And she's actually right there. We have the committee analyst, and guess what? All these bills that we're going to be liberating, discussing, I trust them unconditionally because they have been here longer than any of us. And they have the institutional knowledge and the expertise, and I don't do anything without their guidance. So I would like first to introduce Ms. Erin Hopwood. They're all lawyers. And she is not here, but she is really a hard worker, and she is the analyst for the Public Health Committee. We have Lindsay Rowe, and she's amazing. And she's the analyst for the Government Operations Committee, or the procurement and government operations. She is the expert. And then we have Ms. Lisa Simpson. And Ms. Simpson is actually the analyst for the Health Occupations Committee and for insurance. And you are going to learn, she knows her stuff, okay? So I don't do anything without their guidance. Vice Chair, would you like to introduce your staff?
Sure. My mic will work. I think my mic only turns on if... there we are. Hello. So I have Benton Anthony here with me. Say hi. And also Hallie Clem, who I think is in the back office, but you all should meet her. I'll make sure she comes out to introduce herself. And thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you so much. And we have our committee trooper. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
My name is Senior Trooper Senior Thompson.
And I like having a woman, no disrespect to men. And my personal staff, actually, for the 21st District, because I have the committee and my district, my chief of staff is my amazing chief of staff that has been with me for 10 years, Ms. Edith Perry. And this year, we have been blessed with 5 amazing interns. And each subcommittee has been assigned an intern. And I like them to tell you who they are. Will you please stand up, Rebecca? Introduce yourself. And she's getting her master's. And then Ruth, will you introduce yourself? And we have Natalie, who's not here, and Tricia, and Camille. And Natalie and Tricia are from the Hopkins Master's Program, and they'll be with us. So each subcommittee will have This year, we're trying something different, an interim assigned, and they're going to review the bills, summarize the bills. If you need that from them, make sure you ask for it. They're going to be sending it to the analyst and to the chairmen of the committee as well. They'll also be available if you need anything done. Please ask them, okay? And they're wonderful. Respect them, love them, nurture them, because they're the future. And I'm very blessed to have you. Welcome. And we have,
Oh, Hallie.
go ahead.
Oh. Second, while my mic turns on. Hallie Clem from my office is here, and she wanted to introduce herself too.
So to start, in your folders, you have a form that is the contact information sheet. Can you make sure to please fill it out? That has your personal email, your cell phones, so that our staff can get in touch with you, because we're going to do that often, and so that you don't miss any meetings. That's the only way that they know how to reach you. And if you will be so kind and return that to Michelle Furman by Tuesday, January 17th, I really would appreciate it. And it's in your packages, so it's not in there? Yes, it is. It is? Okay, it's in there. So make sure, you look through it, it's in there. And please fill it out. Thank you, I'm glad you found it. Wonderful. So now we're going to go through the committee room procedures, right? So the trooper is here, and she takes care of us, right? We're going to have a lot of witnesses that will come through here. Sometimes they're bills. We can have 100 witnesses on one bill alone, and we have 10 to 13 bills a day, okay? So it's important that it runs smoothly so we're not here all night, right? So the full HGO committee briefings and hearings are going to begin promptly at 1 p.m. 1 p.m., and I'm going to get up on the floor, and I'm going to announce it. So please, on the floor, pay attention to subcommittee meetings and to the hearings. The subcommittees, we're going to go through that shortly. You'll see where I have placed you. I try to be thoughtful and place you where I thought you will be happy and enjoy it, and with good people that I thought that you would get along and can learn from, okay? I say all the subcommittees are wonderful, and you're going to learn a lot. So when I get up, I will announce the time that we start. Now, please keep in mind, we have to be flexible, that sometimes we're not going to adhere to 1 o'clock. And then sometimes, especially towards the end, we're going to meet 2 and 3 times a day. And sometimes on Saturdays towards the end, to make sure that we get the work done. So what I need from you is flexibility, and to know that for the next 90 days, this is it. This is your responsibility and mine, and that this takes priority over anything. Please monitor also the committee schedule on the Maryland General Assembly website. Check your emails regularly, because the LAs are amazing. They will send you the agenda before the subcommittee. You will know what is going to be discussed that day. You'll know what bills you're going to be voting on. And if you have any questions, you ask them. But they are very good about sending you the information ahead of time. Please, when we're in committee, set your cell phones to vibrate. We really would appreciate that. Conduct any phone conversations outside of this room. And I know this is common sense stuff, but we're not going to take anything for granted. I know I forget myself as well, and I get embarrassed, especially after I have set the rules. And the committee room temperature runs cold, and it's beyond our control. So what I do, and you'll see, I bring a scarf, something to keep me warm. You might want to do that and keep it on your chair. No one is going to take it, okay? But it will keep you comfortable. We are going to hold a series of briefings over the next few weeks. As you notice, we are the first to have a briefing in the House. And the LAs, I'm not going to take any credit for that. They have been working on that. We have been meeting every week on Mondays. We've been working now for months. They put the list together. So we were very thoughtful for the new people to have briefings that will tell you, for example, today, the Department of Health. What is the Department of Health, right? We're going to bring MIA, the Maryland Insurance Administration, and we're going to sort of give you an overview of the issues that this committee has jurisdiction over. So our first one is today. Our schedule is posted on the Maryland General Assembly website under the committee tab. It's really important that you check. I personally want to ask you to be on time. please, this is the priority. This is it. The committee is your priority. I don't care if you have meetings, arrange them at another time. I want you, please, respectfully in your seats on time so we can start on time, because people come from the outside, they travel to be here, and we have to be respectful of their time. There'll be times where we'll be a little late, right? If I'm running, because I have a lot of meetings every day, if I'm running a little late, but I'll make sure that my vice chair or one of the subcommittee chairs, will come here and open it, all right? So that we can start on time as well. Please be on time for the subcommittees, because they are going to be here on time and they're waiting for you to discuss the bills and vote. Our staff, I don't want them to spend a lot of time hunting you down, sending you texts, where are you? This is it, and I really would really be very grateful if you adhere to the, to the time constraint. Members, for the bill testimony procedures, it's a little different this year, and please bear with us and be flexible because we're learning it. So it's going to be virtual, and it's going to be in person as well. So this is all new for us, and today is kind of new as well. We're trying it. So members of the public can sign up to testify as favorable with amendments, or unfavorable, right? Testimony must be submitted in writing to be included in the official bill file. The official bill file is kept here in this committee, and when you come in the committee, actually you'll see them on your left, on your right, and you're welcome to review them. That is sort of the master copy of all the testimony, in case there are any questions in the future. Anyone wishing to testify in writing or orally will have to register, and this is really important. Please don't call staff and say, my witness forgot to sign up, because it's not right. It throws them off. So there's not going to be any exceptions. Please follow the rules. You have your bills. You know who your witnesses are. The first thing you should tell them is sign up for my MGM. Okay, so they will have to register for a My MGA account on the MGA website with a separate email address. That's why you can't do it for them, because they have to do it with their email address, because they are sent the link for the hearing if they're going to do it virtually. But if they come in person, which I would advise them to come in person, they can also sign up as well on the website. And you have the instructions in here. My staff included them for you. This paper that is in your file, please look at it. Those are the instructions for your witnesses. So make sure that you have that on your desk, and that your legislative aide and your staff is very familiar with the sign-in process for My MGA account. The way it's going to work when people give testimony is that the bill sponsor will have no limit when presenting the bill. Okay, I know some committees do. I'm not going to put any limits, but I am going to beg you to be mindful of the number of witnesses that each bill has, and to be considerate of the time. Don't have like a big presentation for 20 minutes and then expect to speak for 20 minutes, because that's not going to work. So try to be thoughtful about that, so that we're not here till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. I do not want to become that committee, because we all have responsibilities and little ones at home, some people, right? So the committee will hear in-person oral testimony first. That's what's going to happen. So people that come in person will go first, and then we're going to do virtual testimony. And again, this is new, so bear with us, okay? We'll make it work. We've been working with OIS. The staff has been taking the training. Each witness will have 2 minutes to provide oral testimony, 2 minutes. And witnesses are expected to conclude their testimony when the timer sounds, and it's going to sound. And I'm going to tell them, please wrap up. Because again, I don't want to be here at 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock at night. There'll be some nights we'll have that, especially on very controversial bills. You can expect it, but I don't want it to be the norm, all right? I want you to have a balance, and I want to have a balance, if that is possible. So members will have the opportunity to question the witnesses and direct their questions to one specific witness. This is how this committee works. If you're going to ask a question and they're sitting there, you choose the witness, you know their name, and you ask the question. Please try to ask, and I'm going to do my former chairman, who I love, and if she's watching, we're sending you lots of love, Shane Pendergrass, Chair Emeritus, and I am very grateful to her because she was a great mentor to me. And she will say, ask your best question. So I'm going to do the same. So when you hear me say ask the best question, ask one. If you have more than one question, please schedule a time to speak with a witness outside of the committee hearing, right? You can talk to the witness outside of the committee hearing. You can send an email. There are 23 of us. Imagine if everyone had 2 and 3 questions, right? So that is the reason why we do that. And you will have access to them. If you have a hard time communicating with them, the bill file will have the information for the witnesses and how to contact them, or ask my staff. My staff will help you. There will be flexibilities on bills which address subjects on which the committee has little prior knowledge. So you'll see times where we allow a few more questions as well. Remember, these witnesses will be present during the subcommittee meetings as well. So what's different about this committee that I love is that we do everything in subcommittee, okay? You're not going to be surprised. And we bring the bills to subcommittee so that they can be discussed, so that everyone can have an opportunity, whether you're for it, against it, and so that you have an opportunity to work it and to work with your chairman. And if the bill is not ready for prime time, tell the chairman, can you hold it for next week? You know, I would like to talk to the person, or I like to be part of the conversation. And that reminds me, the conference room here, it's available to all of you if you're having meetings, okay? It's your conference room as well. The committee is your committee as well. The kitchen is your kitchen as well, okay? And just ask Ms. Gail Wagner to sign in. You have to sign in because you have to reserve it. When you have very difficult bills and you need to bring everyone to the table and sometimes shame them to do the right thing, you bring them to that office, okay? And you have access to it. So during the full committee, your aide or intern, this is really important, will not be allowed to come into the committee because this year we're doing it virtually and online, and we don't want the disruption. So the way it's going to work is that they have to go through the committee, the front by Sylvia, the receptionist. Sylvia let all their aides in, okay? She's gonna let them in, they come to the back, and the clerks that are sitting, they're gonna be sitting there every day. They will talk to them and they'll give you the note or whatever you need. It's a way for us to control the chaos while we're here and to help the trooper as well, to make her life a little easier. We're going to have 1 hour prior to a scheduled briefing, a hearing or both session. Your staff will have the opportunity to come into the hearing room and to set up your desk, okay? So when an hour before we start subcommittee or an hour before we start hearings, your staff can come in here. And they can come in, they can come through the front door. They don't have to go through Sylvia, and set up and bring you your water, whatever you need. There's no food allowed in the committee. We don't eat in this committee, but we drink. You can have your coffee, your tea, your water, okay? And that will be great. You could do that. If you need to eat, you could go to the back and get up, because I know you can't be seated all the time, right? Take a break. There's a form in here that's going to have a sunshine form, $50 that you're going to, God willing, give us. And we're going to provide food for you because I know it's hard to find a meal, especially when there are now free meals after a while. And we're going to have it in the back, and you can go in the back and eat. When you're in your offices, if you want a break, you can come to the committee. You can sit in the kitchen. You can come. There are actually sofas that you can use our committee. It's your committee, okay, as well. The committee, basically for communications during meetings, we recommend using Microsoft Teams or texting, which OIS can train you and have probably told you already. The committee meetings are live streamed. So be mindful that the public is watching. If you're sleeping, the public is watching. If you're playing a game or buying, shopping, and you don't do that, I know you don't do that. If meetings run long, I will schedule and announce a break, okay? And if you think you need a break, one of you can simply gently get up. If you think I have not been mindful, and just let my staff know, and I'll do it. All right? I'm very open and flexible. I want you to enjoy this committee. I want the morale to be positive. I want you to feel challenged. I want you to feel supportive. and I'm open to constructive criticism. This is my first year, so I want to do an excellent job, and I want you to help me, okay? I'm not set in my ways. So I welcome it. My office will be open always. You don't need to make an appointment. And I told my staff that. My members can come in and you can stick your head in my office and we can close the door. I am also available by phone, and you have my information. All of you have my cell phone number. And if you don't, please let me know and I'll give it to you. You can call me anytime as well. To sign up to testify, witnesses can sign up. I already went through that through the MGA website using the MGA, my MGA systems. Again, your staff will not be able to sign up witnesses. They have to do it themselves. And they must register. Witnesses, this is very important, must sign up through the Maryland General Assembly website 2 business days prior to the hearing between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. And that is because everything is online. They have to post within a certain time, and the staff needs time to be able to do that. So 2 business days between the hours of 8 a.m. and 3 p.m., and you have that in your instructions, okay? For example, witnesses can sign up on Friday for Tuesday hearings, Monday for Wednesday hearings, and Tuesdays for Thursday hearings, okay? The specific bill order will be posted on the Maryland General Assembly website the day before the hearing. You're going to see the bills that will come here. If a bill is scheduled for a Monday, the hearing order will post on Friday. Now, I want you to be mindful that I may have to change the bill hearing order if I have one of our colleagues who's in another committee and they can be here on time. I would like you to give me the discretion as the chair to be able to change that, okay? As well. HGO will not provide packets of testimony for briefings, bill hearings. These materials are located on your laptop, so it's important that you bring your laptop. And if you prefer to continue using hard copy materials like I do, you and your staff will have the ability to print and organize those materials in your offices. So my staff will come here an hour before, and they're going to leave my file right here. Your staff can do that as well if you're not a computer person as well. For subcommittees, and this is really important, we had a 2-hour meeting last Friday regarding subcommittee assignments. So you have your subcommittee assignments, and we try to be really thoughtful looking at your background or trying to make sure that you were with a great group of people and chair. So the subcommittee, initially the subcommittee meeting start time is at the discretion of the subcommittee chair. We're going to have public health. We'll meet on Tuesdays. Insurance will meet on Tuesdays. So public health is Vice Chair Kelly right here. The insurance subcommittee chair is Delegate Collison right here. And they will meet on Tuesdays. Please be on time. Make sure your staff puts all your meetings on your calendar. Watch for emails for the agenda that the LAs will send you, okay? And if at the end of the day you still have questions, call us, all right? And we'll give you what you need. On Wednesdays, you're going to meet with the wonderful chair, Delegate Kerr, who is the chair of government operations. On Thursdays, you're going to meet with the wonderful Chair Rosenberg, and he is the actually chair of health occupations and long-term care. So the membership for public health are Delegate Olson, Delegate Bagnall, Delegate Chisholm, Delegate Hill, Delegate Hutchinson, Delegate Lewis, Delegate Lopez, Delegate Riley, Delegate Rosenberg, and Delegate White. And you're going to get to know each other really well. On insurance, Delegate Bandari, Gazzoni, Johnson, Kaiser, Kurd, Kipke, Morgan, Shalega, Taveras, and Woods. And if you notice, for the new people, we put people that are seasoned, respected, that you can ask questions as well in addition to the chairman. For government operations, we have Alston, Chisholm, Gazzoni, Hill, Johnson, Kaiser, Kipke, Lopez, Shalega, and Taveras. For health occupations and long-term care, we have Bagnall, Bandari, Collison, Hutchinson, Kelly, Lewis, Morgan, Riley, White, and Woods. These subcommittees are really important because this is where we do the work for this committee. This is where the bills will be discussed. And the way we work here, I like everyone to have an opportunity to speak up. And then when you vote, at the end of the day, we may not agree philosophically, as Susan Krebs used to say, but we do it respectfully. And just you have your vote, up or down. That's it. It's not personal, right? And then what happens is that we'll have what I'm calling a weekly review meeting with the chairmen on Thursdays afternoon, and we'll discuss the bills that are coming out of the subcommittee. And then on Fridays, you're going to have voting, and you get to vote and discuss them, which is really important. So for the floor is really important. And this to me is I would say the most important rule is that however you voted in committee, you vote on the floor. If you didn't like the bill in committee, please don't embarrass our committee on the floor. Don't get up on the floor against our committee. Don't speak up against the committee. Just vote up or down. Don't organize other people against the committee. This is our team, like a football team, and we're one. And together we're stronger, okay? And we don't want to be embarrassed on the floor. My office is always open, and you can come in and talk to me. But we're going to give you an opportunity to really discuss the bills and how you feel. It's a very transparent process, an open process as well. So we have, as the workload increases, there may be a need to schedule additional hearings and meetings. And sometimes towards the end, it's going to be chaotic, where we're going to take you off the floor and we're going to vote on the side. Or we're going to come here on a Saturday morning to get the work done. So again, the food must remain in the HGO back office. We're going to have water and coffee. That's a New Yorker in me, coffee. I actually purchased some tea. If you don't like it, let us know what you like, and we'll get it for you, okay? If you feel too like being generous and you want to bring something, bring it if you want to as well. And remember I said there was a very important rule. This is also a very important one, as I do at home as well. We are responsible for washing our own dishes. Our own silverware, our own coffee mugs, and cleaning up after ourselves, because our staff, they cannot do it. How are you, Erin? This is the wonderful, amazing Erin Hopwood. So please, you're welcome to use the refrigerator, use it, label things, but please clean after yourself. We have a Sunshine Fund that pays for refreshments to enjoy during our committee hearings. Please provide Michelle with $50 for the Sunshine Fund by Thursday, January 19th. Acceptable forms of payment include cash, check, Venmo, or Zelle, so you can ask her. Every year, it is a tradition to host a committee dinner, and please make it, because this is how you bond, and it's so important. And we will send more information about the date and location, and every committee does it, and the speaker comes by. Please be aware that all members have to pay for the committee dinner. We'll tell you what that is and what the menu is, and you can choose. And I hope I'm not putting him on the spot, but the amazing Delegate Kerr will, work with the new people on the committee and work on a skit, because we usually do that. So if you have any talents like acting or singing, we welcome it, okay? Which will be wonderful. As I said, the chairman weekly review meetings for the committee chairman and for Delegate Kipke and Delegate Morgan will be on Thursdays, okay, as well. If you like a bill to sponsor this session, guess what? For the last 5 months, we've been working on some great easy bills, and we're keeping a list. So give your name to my secretary, Michelle, and tell her I would like a bill. These bills, they will give you have been, I think, worked out, so they should be easy to pass. And some of them are a little bit more difficult, and if you feel up to the challenge, let us know. But they have been drafted already as well, and I'll be able to assign some of them to you. Okay? I want to give you an opportunity to get some bills through. I'm going to do something different that we have not done in this committee, and it's not done often in the House. And I am going to allow not just the chairmen of the subcommittee to present on the floor. And the reason is the following. There are only so many leadership positions, and you have a term of 4 years. I don't want you to just sit here and vote. I want you to get up on the floor and show your stuff that you know it, to be able to handle the bills. How is that decision going to be made? And I want you to make me look good now, so that my hand doesn't get slapped, okay? I want you to basically come on time to your subcommittee and to the committee, participate, read the bills, do your homework, and I'm going to ask every Thursday, I'm going to ask my chairmen of those subcommittee who is doing the work, and tell me who should get a bill to present on the floor. And they will be able to meet with you. I met with them yesterday. They're going to meet with you. They're going to be able to help you. And our wonderful LAs will be also available to help you as well, okay? And I'm going to allow Democrats and Republicans, everyone has a chance to present the bills on the floor. Yes!
Not you.
Okay, so what I do ask is that you come on time and that you read the bills and that you learn it. And my chairmen will recommend who to take that bill to the floor. And all of you, all 23 of you have an opportunity to do that for the next 4 years. And I'll see how it works this session, so make sure it works so that I don't change it, okay? So that would be great. And again, once a bill passes out of this committee, HGO members are prohibited from voicing concerns against the bill on the House floor, and are prohibited from organizing against it, okay? As well. And again, if there's a problem or concern, please, let me know as well. Before we leave, I like to take a picture of us when we're all happy and see how we look at the end. So I'm going to open it for questions, and tell me if any of you have questions. We have our LAs here, we have our staff here, and I just want you to have clarity of what's expected. And if you have any concerns, we want to address it now. Anyone? Yes. We can hear you. We can hear you.
The subcommittees meet at 1 o'clock.
No, the subcommittees are going to be announced on the floor, so listen carefully when the speaker states the following. Are there any committee announcements? I get up and I'll say 1 p.m. hearings, because they're usually at 1 p.m. If we're running late on the floor, is whenever the floor session ends, sometimes 2, 3 p.m. as we get busier. And then she'll say subcommittee announcements. When the subcommittee chairs get up, which will be Collison, which will be Kurt, Rosenberg, and Kelly, they'll say the Public Health Subcommittee will meet, immediately after session, which is usually when they are. So immediately after session, or 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you pay attention to that. So first, the subcommittees meet on Tuesdays, 2 of them, Wednesdays and Thursdays, right? And then every day, Tuesdays through Thursdays, we have hearings at 1 o'clock. So on your calendar, you should have your subcommittee meetings and your 1 o'clock hearings. On Fridays, you're going to have voting, and voting will usually take place after the floor work. On Mondays, we usually don't meet on Mondays, but as we get busy, we're going to be meeting some Mondays afternoon as well. So please listen carefully to the announcements on the floor. Okay? Great question. Anyone else? Yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chairman. I just wanted to add the one thing I wish somebody had told me my first term, like the first week of my first term, was that the process for if you're interested in a piece of legislation, but you're not assigned to that subcommittee. So you're going to be working so diligently and diving really deep to the bills that are assigned to your subcommittee. But if you have an interest in a bill that's not on that you're not on the subcommittee for, you still play a very important role in the process for that. Usually and people find their own way to figure out how to do that. As the chairman mentioned, we all discuss it as a full committee on voting session day. But I think the best thing that works for the subcommittees is for you to, flag your interest in the bill to the subcommittee chairman, to a friend on that subcommittee. I'm looking at Delegate Cullison and Corinne Rosenberg. I'm sure they have their own preferences too, but I think all of us would agree the best thing you can do to play a role in a bill that you're interested in, if you think it needs an amendment or you have questions that need to be answered, make sure that subcommittee chairman or members on that subcommittee know of your interest so that can be discussed prior to the voting session. You can still bring something up at the voting session if you didn't realize you had a concern. Of course, those conversations are robust and they happen. But particularly if you're trying to make a bill better and you have an idea for an amendment, might as well start that conversation early as the subcommittee process is going on. It sounds like Delegate Cullison wants to add something.
What I would add is if you have a bill that's been assigned to another committee, so it's not just that you have interest in a committee, in what another subcommittee is working on, but one of your own bills, then feel free to go to that committee and speak to your bill. You won't have a vote in the subcommittee, but you will be able to discuss it and answer questions of the subcommittee members. So, please know that you can participate in that.
And that is something that we do that is different from other committees. Like in the subcommittees, we welcome everyone, even the bill sponsors. And everyone, when I say everyone, everyone. And I encourage you for your bills to make sure that you think about who's against this bill, who is for it. Bring them early now before you file the bills and try to get them to consensus and try to get them to agree and work out all the kinks, which is so important to be able to do that. And before I forget, if you have a bill hearing in another committee and we have hearings here, make sure that you let us know, okay? And what I would advise you is to stay in your seat and let them know to call Sylvia when your bill is up, all right? Or someone on that committee that you trust and respect to be able to tell you on the computer, your bill is going to be up, Leslie, or, Delegate Lopez. So you have 10 minutes to make it. So that you could stay in here as long as possible, but let us know, okay? Delegate Hill.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
pleasure.
And I'd ask just for indulgence, because there were a couple of questions and things I thought would be helpful, and I've checked off. I just want to clarify, for those of us who've been here for a while and were here before the pandemic, the sign up outside is not available for witnesses at all. We used to be able to sign them up. They have to go online. It has to be online and all that.
Everything is online.
Okay. And then the sunshine and committee dues or payments are not from our house accounts. They have to be made personally.
That's correct.
So you can't
Thank you
use
for
your
the
house money for that.
clarification.
Okay. And I think that was a.
And so is the party,
Yep, right.
the
dinner.
committee dinner. Celebration, let's call it a celebration of the end.
Correct. Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. In your package, you have health acronyms that you're going to hear someone say, oh, the LTC, the MAC, the MACRA, what is that? So our wonderful LAs have put this together for you. So please spend maybe at nighttime, 5 minutes, just kidding. Just make sure you look at it. You have those in there. The HGO member contact form, you have it. Please make sure you fill it out. And while you're here, why don't you fill it out and give it to Michelle? So you have that out of the way. You have in your package, you have the subcommittee subject areas. If you're wondering what comes to my subcommittee, that is also in your package, so you know the subject matter for the committee as well in there. And then we also gave you a list of all the briefings that we have thus far. Now, keep in mind that we are always free to add some in there as well. Each year, we get all these bills that will declare, let's say, the one-eye Susan, the flower for Maryland, or, those specialty bills. And there's a lot of them, and I know that is the flower, but, we get those bills, a lot of them. Now, we can't possibly pass all of them, right? So just be patient with those, because only maybe one or two of those pass a year. So I'm just putting it out there for you to know as well. And you're going to see many of those bills come in. A lot of the bills that we deal with have a huge fiscal note. So we work closely with the Appropriations Committee and with leadership to see whether we can do them or not, all right? Whether we can afford to do them as well. And the last thing I would like to say is that, people come here and they'll just pour their heart out. And it breaks your heart, some of the testimony you're going to hear. If you could treat them with kindness, love, and respect. The same thing for the witnesses that come. If we can treat them with respect as well, right? Like no one wants to be embarrassed. That would be wonderful. I know there is a couple of questions. I'm going to go with Delegate Rosenberg, followed by Delegate Bandari, followed by Delegate Hill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't have a question, I concur in what my fellow co-chair said and what the full committee chair said. Just a friendly advice. If you have an issue before another subcommittee or even the subcommittee you're a member of, or before the full committee, people don't like to be surprised. So let the relevant people know in advance that you have an issue or a concern, whatever your interest may be. Don't wait till the day of the hearing or after we've adjourned from the floor and we're about to go into the hearing. Let people know in advance. Thank you.
Thank you. Delegate Bandari.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, colleagues. I would like to express my gratitude to our chairwoman for her wonderful leadership, I'm very honored to be part of this wonderful committee, and thank you for that. And it is a privilege to be here today, and I look forward to knowing our new colleagues and a great discussion ahead. Thank you.
Delegate Hill, thank you.
One last thing, if sometimes we hear bills that are really interesting, and we have suggestions or amendments that we want to offer. There have been times that I've gone to the staff and said, here's an amendment I'd like offered in the committee. There are times I've spoken to the chair, I've spoken to the sponsor. Can you explain to us how, if we hear bills that we think we can make better, what our amendment process is, even in the voting session?
I think the first thing is to go to the sponsor. Give them the respect. That's their bill. Because they may not want to take that amendment, because guess what? They were able to get this advocate on board because that amendment is not on. So if they don't take it, it's for a reason. They know the bill better than you. And then if the sponsor says yes, then you can request it through the LAs. Okay? Then thank you for that. Delegate Johnson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First, I'd like to welcome all the new members to the HGO Committee. It is a great committee. The question is, you mentioned a couple ways to pay for the snacks and for the dinner, and you mentioned checks. So if someone wants to write a check, who do they make it to?
Michelle Furman.
Okay.
Thank you. And before, because I have at the end the new members, any other questions? I would like to allow the LAs, and I know I'm putting you on the spot, to tell our members, because you do all this work, you really are the people that do the work. What makes your job easier from our members? What will you want from them, especially the new members that have not been here? Seriously.
I say just don't be afraid to ask. We're here. We've all been here a long time. We can help you in any way.
And I guess I would echo Delegate Rosenberg's sentiment about morning. Have an amendment that you want us to draft, let us know ahead of time, because we can't just produce them out of thin air. It takes work. So as much time as we've got.
I would agree with everything Aaron and Lindsay said.
Yep, lots of questions and ask us lots of questions and yeah, we don't like surprises either.
Wonderful. So I just want to take a minute now just to thank everyone who came, and I thank you. I'm so excited, honest to God. And I want to give an opportunity to the new members to introduce themselves and tell us one fun fact about you. So let's start from my right.
Thank you. My name is Delegate Tom Hutchinson. I live in Dorchester County. I represent District 37B, which is part of Wacomico, Dorchester, all of Talbot County, and Caroline County. Currently I own a small business in Dorchester County, a home improvement company, but actually prior to that I had 25 years in healthcare, working for a number of different healthcare quality improvement, analytic companies, patient satisfaction. I've probably stepped foot in every hospital in the state of Maryland at one time during my career. Fun fact, I'm very proud that I completed Ironman Maryland back in 2017. And stay very involved in the Ironman programs that we have in Dorchester County every year.
Well, welcome to the committee, to all of you. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you.
And my pleasure, Delegate White.
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Delegate Jennifer White. I am from District 10. That includes communities of Reisterstown, Randallstown, parts of Owings Mills, parts of Catonsville, and the like. By profession, I am a public health professional and looking forward to serving in this committee and using my talents in this capacity. A fun fact about me, I have 2 pet goldfish that have been alive for quite some time. So I'm very proud of myself there. But thank you again.
It's great
Oh,
to...
their names are Tiger and Ruby.
Nice to have you. Delegate Lopez, welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Good morning, everyone. My name is Delegate Leslie Lopez. I represent District 39, which is the upper part of Montgomery County, Germantown, Clarksburg, Montgomery Village. I feel like I've crossed paths with many of you in my previous committee, the MMA, Octagon, Judiciary. I'm very excited to be in a committee that fits my more chill sensibilities. And in my non-legislative life, I'm an adjunct faculty member at the George Washington University, and then I do communications consulting, usually social impact startups and labor. And a fun fact about me, my first salaried job that I ever had was as a production assistant for the television show America's Most Wanted.
Oh!
But I leave my crime-fighting days behind me.
Well, you're most welcome here. Delegate Taveras.
Hi, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here with you all. As our wondrous chair said, my name is Denny Taveras. I live in Prince George's County for almost, oh my goodness, about 20 years. I can't believe it. I represent District 47B, the tiniest or the most concentrated Latino district here in the state of Maryland, probably the only one. And representing Delphi, Langley Park, Carroll Highlands, and Lewisdale. And prior to this, I was a county council member for 8 years in the county, where I was able to develop $10 billion of development, 9 new schools and 2 new libraries in the pipeline, as well as, and I'm a chemist by degree. And so prior to this, I've done a lot of enforcement of toxic emissions at EPA under Lisa Jackson, who was a prior administrator under the Obama administration. And what can I say? I have a dog named Lucky who runs my house, and I just pay the bills. And I do comedy on the side because, you know, what else is there to do?
Welcome.
And I want to run the first business improvement district in my county. So that's what I want to do on my day job.
Welcome. We have the wonderful Tiffany Alston, Delegate Alston.
Good morning, everyone. I'm very, very happy to be here on this committee. My name is Tiffany Alston. I'm from Legislative District 24, which is Central Prince George's County. I was an attorney for about 10 years. I've been a stay-at-home mom for the last 11 years, and I have a 20-year-old daughter. And my fun fact is I like to dance and listen to, I think the kids call it ratchet music.
Well, welcome. Delegate Woods.
Good morning, everyone. I am Delegate Jamila Woods from District 26 in Southern Prince George's County. That covers the Fort Washington, National Harbor, Oxon Hill, Temple Hills, parts of Clinton, Suitland, Accokeek, and Camp Springs, Maryland. I am really honored to be a part of this committee. This was my first selection, and so I'm so thrilled that you all saw fit to allow me to be a part of this team. I am a licensed social worker, and a fun fact about me is that I love to sing. I love music, and I also am an avid swimmer. And I'm just excited to be here with you all.
Well, we're blessed to have you. Thank you. And then we have the wonderful Delegate Gazzoni, who Chair Pendergrass loves.
Yeah, that's true. Good morning, everybody. I am Pam Gazzoni, a delegate for District 13. So not only does Shane love me, but she was very generous in supporting me early on, and I am her backfill in District 13, which includes parts of Howard County, parts of Columbia, Laurel, Savage, Jessup, and then kicks it a little bit west to Maple Lawn and Fulton. I'm very happy to be on this committee and look forward to working with everybody. I have a 30-year career at NASA Goddard Space Flight Center, which was quite zigzaggy, so if anyone's interested in that. I am not a scientist or an engineer, so I did a lot of different things there. 3 kids, 1 dog. Fun fact about me is that I climbed the highest mountain in Austria.
Ooh, very nice.
Which isn't actually...
So then now I'm giving you a challenge, the new people. I want you to get to know the rest of us that have been here and find out about them, who they are, visit their rooms, their offices, ask them questions about the committee, ask for help, find someone that you would, get along with, have the same value system. On the floor, I know some people have asked me, new ones, how do I know how to vote regarding other bills that are in other committees? What I do, if I'm not able to read the bills, is that I find someone on that committee that I trust, and I look up on the board someone that shares my value system. I call them on the phone and I ask them about the bills. You should do that as well for the other committees, right? As well. We're going to take the photo after the hearings because the speaker, I have a meeting with the speaker at noon, and she starts on time. But we have Delegate Chisholm.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, and
My pleasure.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Since you brought it up, I'd be remiss if I didn't request this. If we do happen to pass this one-eyed flower that you were talking about, can I be listed as the top sponsor, please? I think it's only fitting.
Can I tell you, come by my office and I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, everyone, for being so kind and for just, paying attention and asking your questions. And I look forward to seeing you at 1 o'clock for our first hearings. Make sure you get something to eat now. And we'll have the pictures after the hearings. Have a blessed day. See you at 1 o'clock.